Hey, what's up guys? I'm Darkora, and today we are going to compare the Minecraft Xbox One edition over to the Better Together update. And keep in mind, I do know this is a beta, but I have a lot of stuff to go over because whenever this does come out, I will not be able to mod on it, and there's a lot of problems like this. For example, Super Shiftery's map. His map has been crashing a lot whenever he would go ahead and load in his custom villager trades, same as me and many other modders, so there's a lot I have to go over and just the changes in general. So what I have here is kind of a course of what I'm going to be going over, and then I will go on to the Better Together update and I will go ahead and do the same thing. And basically what I'm doing is I am comparing, and I will just tell you my opinion and what I think of it. But anyways, let's get started. Alright, so the first one we have here is going to be the bows, and on the left side of the screen this is Xbox One edition, on the right side of the screen that is Windows 10 or Better Together. And first thing you probably see is the color of the bow and how it looks a little bit more different whenever you aim in, and it does give it that 3D texture, and I do like that. There's nothing wrong with that so far, so let's move on to the next one. So in this one, it is going to be the parkour. The only reason why I put this one in is that the controls do feel a little bit more different with the joystick, and they might have to fix this, but the parkour wasn't really that much of a big problem. So this one was the mobs, and I saw a lot of changes to this, not just because of how they fought, but especially the particles. So in this one you see me lighting a zombie on fire, and how it looks a little bit different to the other zombie, and I will show you this with an actual, not baby zombie. But as you see, whenever I'm going to fight this next zombie, it does have a little bit more difference whenever it becomes red. And whenever I hit it with the fire sword, the fire particles did look a little bit more different, and I kind of found that odd, and it looked a little bit cheesy and cartoonish, and I'm not sure if that was good or not. But anyways, let's move over to the next one. And so for this one, I used flint and steel and a fire charge to light up TNT. And one thing I noticed on the Better Together update was that the fire charge, did not disappear from my inventory, and I only had one in my inventory whenever I lit it up, and that was odd. And one thing I also noticed is that the TNT did blow me up through the ground, so I guess that it has a further distance that it can blow you up from and hurt you. But anyways, let's move on over to the next one and see what happens. And on this next one, I used Ender Pearls, and I did notice that it carried on a feature from PC to where it takes a while for you to throw another Ender Pearl after you've already thrown one. And I'm not sure if this is a good idea, but let me know down in the comments. Let's move on to the next one. And so this one was the crafting, and as you see on the right side, Better Together update, the crafting interface was a little bit different if you are an automatic crafter, but I am a manual crafter, so I was using the manual crafting system. And one thing I also remembered is that you can no longer craft golden apples, so I had to go ahead and get myself an enchanted golden apple. But as you see, one thing on Better Together also is whenever you do lose health with the notch apple on, you're going to lose that golden heart on top of your HUD bar, as you see right there. But anyways, let's move on over to the next one and see what that is all about. And the next one I did was going to be the villager trades, and as you see, the villager trades on the Better Together update does look a little bit more different than console edition, and it reminds me of PC. It probably is PC. But anyways, as you see here, I was trading my stuff, and it is hard to get around your HUD bar and your inventory and stuff like that. I don't know why they're going to have to fix that in the Better Together update, but basically I went ahead and got all my trades, and as you also see here, the maps did look a little bit more different, and this is probably a PC feature too, and I don't really like this. I'd rather stick to the console one, but let's move over to the next one. And on this one, I really don't have to say anything except for that, as you see, the interface for most of the stuff like crafting, using a furnace and stuff like that does look a little bit more different than console edition, and it might just be the size, but let's move over. And this one is going to be the fishing, and there is actually something I did notice. Obviously the water has changed in the Better Together update, it looks a little bit darker, but as you see here, the fishing rod does look a little bit different, or at least the part where the fish usually latches on. As you see on the console edition, it's kind of just 2D, but on the Better Together update or Bedrock edition, it actually is more 3D, and it looks like a giant block. And as you see while I'm riding on the boats here, the boat movement does look a little bit more different on the Better Together update. And it's kind of a little bit odd because it kind of gives you that smooth feeling, but it also just feels weird in general. But let's move over to the next one, and as you see here, the beacon does look a little bit more different in plastic. So on this one I was riding the horse, and you're about to see here kind of how the boats worked. It did look a little bit more smooth on the Better Together update whenever I was riding the horses, and it felt a little bit more weird in general. But on this area I was going to go ahead and enchant, and as you see the enchanting is basically the same. You use lapis lazuli and whatever weapon you're going to enchant or tool, but anyways that's pretty simple. So as I move over to the next one, this is going to be riding the pigs, and the pigs, they are a little bit different too. As you see here, the lead does look a little bit more 3D and realistic, which I do like, and it looks pretty nice. And as you're about to see here on the right, the pig on the right went a lot more faster than the one on the left, which is on Xbox One, so I'm not sure if there's a chance of it going fast at certain times, but anyways, let's move on over to the next one. And this one is actually going to be the last one, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be flying an Elytra, and as you see we are no longer having the console exclusive where you do the Superman pose in the air, which I'm going to miss, but all you can do now is just crouch while you're in an Elytra, which is kind of sad. But anyways, also with the Elytra flying on the Better Together update, it is a little bit more different and more smooth, which is fine, and I'm kind of going to miss the old way how you fly, and the fireworks also have a lower duration, but I'm going to go into the water now. And as you see on the Better Together update, the water is a lot more darker than it is on console, and this means that if you're going to go into the water, it's going to be a lot more harder to see, which personally I do not like this. But the one cool thing that I found about this is that whenever you start swimming up, it kind of gives a brightness effect, which you're going to see right now. I'm just going to go ahead and start drowning. But whenever I'm swimming up, you're going to see how it does get brighter whenever you get closer to the surface of the water, which is pretty cool and kind of looks realistic, but it does look a little bit more plasticky. But anyways, that wraps it up for today's video, and oh my god, you can't even see my skin. But my opinion about this game is that it does seem a little bit more childish, and I'm going to have to miss modding. I'm going to have to get used to actually going ahead and learning how to do commands and add plugins and stuff like that. But that kind of wraps it up for today's video. Also, one more cool thing is that you can have a lot of players in the world. I'm just hanging out in this guy's world. But anyways, I heard that if you do press the like button, then it will turn blue, and that is actually pretty cool. So go ahead and turn that like button blue if you do like that color. And also subscribe if you are new around here and want to see more content like this. And I will see you guys in the next video. Oh god, it's dark in here.